to another episode of Unfiltered Kitchen. I am Cheyenne.
I'm Kyle. How are you?
And we are back with part 2 from last week. We are doing a continuation of our What Does Love Mean to You? Do you believe in unconditional love series? We're going to continue to play some of your guys' responses that you sent us on SpeakPipe. And then we're going to jump into...
Can we do this first this time?
Sure.
Because that's a lighter note. That's more positive.
Okay. You want to go non-positive
Well, no,
first?
I mean, this just gets a little,
You want to go deep and then go positive? He really wants to read this DM. You guys, we get DMs, right? And I read them, and every now and then I have to go back and I'll screenshot it, and I'm like, okay, we could talk about this, and then I'll get some, and I'm like, I don't know, we should talk about that. And then I get somewhere, I'm just like,
she actually got one today. I said,
I don't know how to respond. I'm just going to read it for you guys, and everybody can come up with their own response.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll stop you every once in a while.
All right. She starts off by saying, have I got a story for you all? It is long, so I will summarize it. I've had guardianship of my nephew since 2010. His mother, my sister, is a drug addict transient in nearby LA County. Lots in between now and then, but unless this piques your interest, I'll leave that out. Fast forward to December of 2022.
So that's 12 years later.
Okay.
She got him 210. Now it's 212.
Okay.
Or 222.
Mm-hmm.
So 12 years later. Okay.
He ran away from home for 4.5 months, was caught, and I took him to a wilderness program in Arizona. He graduated in June 2023. My sister lives in AZ, assuming this is a different sister, and he spent the summer with them. Was doing well, so we all, including him, decided he would stay for school. He got approximately 3 weeks in before he found the drug crowd and ran away again. Since then, he's been picked up twice by sheriffs, and I refused to pick him up, simply because he will run again and again. I was threatened by CPS in Arizona for neglect and abandonment charges.
CPS, Child Protective Services.
You heard that correctly. All because I told them I cannot continue to be held accountable for his actions when he refuses to listen or follow one rule of the home: no illegal drugs. He has since run from CPS transport twice. He is still a runaway in the San Pinal County areas. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but yeah. On October 28th in Queen Creek, AZ, there was a teen by the name of Preston Lord. He was brutally attacked and 2 days later passed away. He was 16 years old, and I've contacted QCPD about my nephew possibly being involved. This is terrifying to me, but his actions are out of control. We do not know yet if my nephew has been involved. In the meantime, CPS of Arizona followed through on their threats, and I'm currently facing a trial date set for November 28th on neglect and abandonment charges.
So, initially, I'm thinking, because this is the second time I'm hearing this,
Mm-hmm.
it was her sister's child.
Mm-hmm.
The mother, she said, was a kind of a street merchant, crack cocaine or whatever. She didn't say it was drug, but said she was, living in the life in the streets.
Okay.
So I'm thinking that her sister, the mother of the child, was not raising the child right, neglecting the child.
Okay.
Child's running.
Okay.
But when I go back and listen to it from 2010, when she got him,
right,
to 2022, for the past 12 years,
he's been her.
Under her.
Yeah.
Say so. So if he's a wild one.
No.
Okay, I'm not going to say it, but go ahead.
All right. This is terrifying to me, but his actions are out of control.
Yeah, well.
We do not know yet if my nephew was involved. In the meantime,
Oh, that's why I stopped you. I'm sorry. Why did she just assume that
I have no
was
idea.
involved with the...
No idea.
All right.
I'm hoping that we get to that in this.
I won't interrupt. I'm sorry.
I will say that it's very confusing to me why you would contact the police about the nephew being involved if you don't know if he's involved. But anyway, I'm trying to stay away from that.
All right.
Because
we just don't understand.
And a 16-year-old boy lost his life, which is
that's not good.
Truly, truly devastating. So I feel like that's just not something you play with. Anyway, okay. Blah, blah, blah. Trial date was set for November 28th on neglect and abandonment charge.
Sorry.
Dad, you want to eat that cracker so bad.
I didn't want to eat it.
Oh my God.
I didn't know it would make this much noise. I'm sorry.
If you guys watch this on YouTube, did you see what he just did? And if you don't watch us, please watch us. He just tried to turn his whole mic around so he can eat this cracker, not realizing how much noise it would make.
Right, my bad.
Okay. All right. No judge will ever convict me of this. I have never neglected or abandoned my nephew. I will send photos of the space he lived in and my sister's pantry just to prove this to you.
And I've seen these photos.
We both looked at the photos.
He's living good life.
He's living a good life. He's on the lake. He's on jet skis.
Right.
He's living the life. Family looks nice and happy.
Right.
Okay.
He's just wild. He's wild. Now, were any of those pictures a picture of him?
Yes, he's the one with the bowl cut.
Okay. So he's at least in his mid-20s, 18?
Nah, he was giving me like 17, 18-year-old vibes.
Can we flat? Okay.
Okay.
Even at 17, 18.
Well, no, he can't be 18 because guardianship, the police are trying to get her to pick him up. He has to be a kid still.
Okay, so he's got to be under 18.
Okay. So we saw the pictures. He looks like he was living a good life.
Right.
I believe this story needs to be told. How guardians can be held to persecution, and most of all, how I will do everything in my power to change the system. I have court documents to show as well as witness statements. Please help me make change for these kids who need it. My sister and brother-in-law wanted to adopt. Now that they've seen what has happened to me in the system, they won't. Change has got to be made.
Oh, they want to adopt, not him.
Another
First
child.
time I heard, yes.
Yes.
But they're fearful.
Of how the system could come back.
Yeah.
Then she sent more pictures and was like, this was him this summer. He definitely doesn't look neglected.
He's living a nice life.
And I'm going to leave it there. She sent some more messages, but it's not necessary to read. Yeah. What do you think?
I think this is, I'm going to say this. I would, in this particular case, I'm going to reach out to the listening audience. And if there's anything that you might, here's her biggest problem. Her problem is that she now is being prosecuted or villainized for not being a good parental unit.
Mm-hmm.
Guardian. And she wants to change the system because the youngster is on the wild. She stepped in. Remember, she stepped in 12 years ago to try to help her sister and to help him, actually. But now that he's on the wild and uncontrollable, she wants to, I don't know if she wants to alleviate herself of the responsibility. I don't think she said that. But she doesn't want to be prosecuted for his wrongdoings. And she further alluded that her sister-in-law or somebody was thinking about adopting, but they're looking at what's going on with her, where she's being prosecuted, possibly in the court system.
She is being prosecuted in the court system.
For not being a good parental unit.
For abandoning him.
For abandonment. Now, let me tell you something. See, that's when you have that conditional love we was talking about earlier. Parent, you in there, your kid is just raunchy, just raw. What's the word you guys use?
What?
Ratchet.
I'm dead.
Let me tell you something. If I had a ratchet child, I'm like, get your ass out of here. Do what you do. I done worked hard off. I done tried. She obviously tried. She stepped in. She tried. And again, we saw the pictures. He's not living a crazy life.
No.
Okay?
I think
he's just unappreciative. Unappreciative.
The thing that stood out to me was that she wouldn't pick him back up when the sheriff said, come get him. And I'm going to assume that's when she got the abandonment charge. Now, I think there was I personally would have handled it differently from the standpoint of maybe I'm not coming to pick him up, but I can find a system or a program that will come pick him up. Like the same way she said that she had
sent him out to Arizona
in the wilderness
initially. Yes,
program.
yeah.
I'd call them and say, it didn't work.
Or it worked for a minute.
It worked for a minute,
he's relapsed.
but now he's relapsed. Can he come back?
Right.
Or is there another level to this program
Yeah.
that you can go pick him up? Because I can't control him. We can't control him. I've reached the limits. What do I do? As opposed to just saying, I'm not coming back for him. Because you can't do that.
Okay. I understand what you're saying. Remember, though, she thinks that he's a killer.
Good point.
Okay. Now, if
that.
I think you're a killer,
she didn't say a killer. She said she thinks he's involved in the death, which would make him
a killer.
Okay.
Okay. You're not coming back to my house.
No.
It's over.
But if she really thinks that he's a killer, then she should be not DMing us and standing at the police station and saying, it's him. He did it.
I wouldn't do that.
She said she contacted the police.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that's what she did. I could think you're a killer, but I'm like, run, baby, run. Just don't run here. I can't,
So if I killed someone, you would, and you knew, what are you doing?
Well, if it was a justified killing, but you'd still go to jail, I'd get your ass out of the country. I'd run with you.
What's a justified killing to you?
It wasn't necessarily self-defense. Well, okay. See, in this country, as a woman, you could kill your mate self-defense. But because you're a woman, and this is a man's world in the United States, pretty much in the world, you very well could be prosecuted and spend a good time of your life in jail.
Even if it was self-defense?
Even if it's self-defense as a woman.
That's shitty.
Well, I'm just telling you, this is our system. This is the system. That's the history of our system.
So Zach and I...
Let's say Zach is an abuser.
And I finally fight back and I shoot him.
Yeah. Countless women are in jail for that same action. So I'd be like, baby, no, let's go.
Put me in the cargo bin and ship me somewhere.
Yeah, without a doubt. I'm leaving with you.
Now, unjustified killing.
An unjustified killing. You have too much champagne one day and crack somebody with your car. I'm still like, baby, get out of the country.
Oh my God, Dad! Don't say that out loud.
You need to run.
Oh no!
I mean, if
you need to run. What?
Look, too much champagne, you need to run. Now, if you just didn't see him, a dark street, everything was straight. You on your way to go pick up riders. It's a legitimate day. But maybe that's just the way it goes. I mean, that's vehicular homicide, but you don't know. It's an accident.
Guys.
I don't need you going to jail.
Guys.
Jail system is not set up for us. People of melatonin.
Guys.
You need to run. Let's get back to where. Let's
read you had another DM.
So on that particular one, though, before we end it, if there's anybody out there that is familiar with Child Protective Services and
how does that work?
Can lend us a hand or maybe suggest something, because she is really legitimately worried, that she's going to be prosecuted for this young kid who was wild and out of bounds.
Yeah.
I
feel like there's someone out there who can give her a better answer than the answers we just gave.
You're right.
So if you're that person, please comment.
Yes.
Please reach out. Please let us know.
You can even do it on the voicemail thing.
I will put up another SpeakPipe link for anyone that has any comments about this episode, and I'll go through them, and hopefully that there's something in there that can help this lady out, because clearly she's reaching out for help. Yeah. We want to help if there's any way that we can help.
Yeah.
All right.
So can I introduce this one?
Yep.
So every once in a while, when I know we're going to record, I'll go on and I say, we're about to record. We're going to record in an hour from now. We're recording tomorrow or something like that. So if there's anything you want to talk about, hit me and then we can talk about it. Mm-hmm. Well, I did this last week, and there was probably maybe 2 hours between when I said it and when we actually recorded. So I saw this one afterwards.
Oh, like 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, this is last week, not 2 weeks ago. Last week.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. Yeah, because you said it on camera. You were like, I'm going to go look and see. And then you're like, nobody said anything.
Yeah, nobody said anything. Later on that night, it was still up on my story, so I saw this. And it was pretty. You read it.
Yeah, I read it. It was a lot.
It's a lot.
But She put graphic warning. I'm gonna say trigger warning to anyone that has trigger issues with talking about sexual assault. This one is about that, so this is our trigger warning for that.
Yeah.
So don't listen if it's triggering to you. Okay, so she starts off by graphic warning. When I was younger, my dad sexually assaulted me and my younger cousin and made child porn. Not porn. I'm so sorry.
Child porn.
Porn. Blame the wine. Using pictures. I told my mom it started when she went away to prison, but later learned that the child porn continued when she got out. Even after I told her everything, she still stayed with my dad. They are married, and I was forced to pretend that we were this big, perfect, happy family. Her staying with my dad made me lose trust with her, and I felt like she wasn't there to protect me. I eventually went off to college and was able to get away from them and develop my independent feelings towards both of them. I completely cut my dad off, and I'm trying to figure out how to go about the relationship with my mom and little brothers. My little brothers know the situation with my dad, and they still continue to spend time with him and support him. They're 21, 16, and 11. I don't spend time with them a lot because they lie to me all the time about hanging out with our dad. Should I feel a type of way about my mom allowing them to be around a man that is attracted to kids? Or should I let them continue to have that relationship with him because they love their dad? As
she said, attracted to kids. Attracted to his own daughter, though, right? Is this her stepdad or
this is her dad?
Her dad.
Yes. She said that he was molesting her and the cousin. Okay. Should I feel a type of way about my mom allowing them to be around a man that is attracted to kids, or should I let them continue to have that relationship with him because they love their dad? As far as my mom, I think they still are legally married, and our relationship is very rocky. I have a hard time trusting her because after telling her everything my dad did to me and seeing the evidence, she continued to stay with him. She let him lie and tell her that he went to therapy and never did. She took him back and he did it again and again. I had to threaten to tell the cops to get him out of our house. Now everyone is blaming me for the separation of the household because I decided to tell the truth in my story. I now have a child myself, and I do not allow my kid to go with my mother without me.
I'm with you.
This is because she failed to protect me as a child, and I refuse to let my child go through the same thing. Do you think that I'm ruining the relationship between my son and my grandma? My son and his grandma by doing this, or am I doing the right thing by protecting my child the best I can? Sorry for this long situation, but it still weighs on me, especially since I don't have any family besides my child's father's side. I know in the previous episode, Cheyenne mentioned she has friends that don't have family and see yours as hers. This is how I feel about my child's father's side. I feel like they are my new family. If you guys could please share my story and give me advice, I really need it. Love you both and support you from watching the challenge in Teen Mom.
Okay, she was saying her guy.
Yeah, that her child's father has become her new family.
Yes.
So I want to go all the way back up because she does ask
First of all, can
questions.
I just say one thing though?
Yes.
Guess who gets on my piece of shit list this week?
Her dad.
Piece of shit.
I thought you were gonna say he's one that you would line up and shoot in the head. You remember that?
No.
One episode.
Yeah. Well,
you were talking about
the
pedophiles. The pedophiles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you do it with your own
I don't
daughter?
know.
I mean, how do you do it with any
kid? But to your child,
oh shit.
It's just another level of sick.
Sick. Piece of shit list. We need to get an award. We need to get an actual certificate we can send these people.
Yeah, it's really. There's just so much in. First off, I want to say thank you for sharing, and which comes with weirdness because you're sharing something that's not a good share.
Yeah.
But I will say that I commend you for being brave for sharing. And with you saying it's heavy or weighing on you, you need to talk about it clearly. And it's weighing on you because maybe you're not talking about it enough, maybe because it's going on in real life right now. And since it is weighing on you, I go back to what I always tell everybody, therapy.
No, wait, you said maybe it's going on in real life, not the molestation,
not that,
but just the trauma
of it.
Yes.
So when trauma like this happens, you have to figure out how to work through all this trauma.
Mhm.
And therapy, you
Gotta
gotta
go.
go to
You gotta
therapy.
go.
This is one where you need to go to therapy.
You have to go.
You have to go to therapy because it's gonna come out in different areas of your life.
Okay. I'm gonna say this, and don't take it wrong. You need to go to therapy. If you can't, I don't know what your financial situation is, and I've never done this, but if you can't afford it, call me. I'll help you afford it.
This gnat
Because
is
what
killing
what
me.
you've been through is. Can I cuss right now?
I cuss every week.
It's
Dad.
unfucking believable. I just can't imagine going through something like that. And then your mom sides with the man.
Yeah.
Now, you can't blame your siblings. Your siblings are still young. 21, 11, 21, 19, 11.
21,
16. They still may not understand the full gravity. They might.
No. At 21,
yes,
you
21,
understand
you
what
understand.
it is if
yes,
your
you
dad
do.
sexually assaults you.
Yes, you do.
And at 16, you also do.
You're right.
So, no, they don't get a pass.
No, they did. Well,
they don't get a pass.
They didn't do it.
But they don't get a pass.
Okay. We're going to differ on that. Okay. The mama certainly doesn't get a pass. The daddy's a piece of shit. Maybe even up for the firing squad. We're not going to dwell on them.
Okay, let's go to the first question.
Okay.
The first actual question is, should I feel a type of way about my mom allowing them to be around a man that is attracted to kids, or should I let them continue to have that relationship with him because they love their dad?
Around kids, meaning her siblings? Mm-hmm. You know, you're going to have to let the mom and dad have each other. She chose to still stay with him, hang with him. And I don't know what her mentality is, what her disposition is coming out of jail. I never see it as a favorable situation. There are very few people that go to jail, come out of jail, and are right. I've known a couple, few. Most people that go are already fucked up, or else you wouldn't be going. And once you're in there, there's not a whole lot. The rehabilitation system doesn't exist. Very rarely. So I think let them two do their dance together. Okay? I'm still.
You know, I think that
Yeah, you handle this one.
Okay. So I'm a mom, and there's just no chance in hell that my kid is going over there.
Oh yeah. Oh, that part about protecting. Should you feel bad about not letting it?
There's no way.
No, you keep your kid next to you.
Yeah. There's no way that your son's
one of them
going
visiting
out with grandma.
Yes, it ain't happening.
No, there's no way. There's no way in hell that my kid is going with grandma. And to be honest, I don't even know if grandma is coming over to the house. If my mom knew that my dad was sexually assaulting me
and chose
to stay with him and did not protect me, I think that this is when I go back to, I'm going to have to choose my own family and create my own community. And I would have to leave my parents over there with each other. And I'm going to go over here with my family and work on myself over here and create my own happiness over here. I would not seek a relationship out with my father.
No.
I would not seek out a relationship with my mother.
For what? For why?
Why? She didn't protect you. She's still not protecting you. She's not protecting your brothers. I think that's just one that I would have to
let me tell you something.
Let go.
A person that would have sex with his own daughter would also have sex with his own son. Because that's a deviant personality.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. And I don't think the sexuality of the person matters. I think it's more of a control thing. Look, nobody gets that goddamn horny. I'm going to go in here and bone my daughter.
Apparently.
Well, I guess so. That's some sick shit. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. I don't know where to go on things like this. You know, again, I'd put him in the firing squad, and I wouldn't even ask twice.
I think that what she's asking is, do you think I'm ruining the relationship between my son and his grandma? I would not worry about the grandma.
No, I'd ruin the relationship.
I would not let him have a relationship
yes,
with
I'd
her.
ruin it. I'd be like,
there is
Grandma.
no relationship.
I'd be like, Mama, you're out.
Yeah, don't come over here. Because
go home. Go back to that man.
Yeah.
And do whatever it is you guys do.
You didn't say,
rationalize it however you want.
There was no boundaries. There was no protecting. And now you want to play grandma over here?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
You don't get to do that. Yeah. There's consequences to everybody's actions. So, girl, I'm gonna pray for you, and I mean that in all genuineness. Is that a word?
Yes.
But I really think that you need to take you and your child and separate yourself as far as possible away from your parents.
With the exception of your siblings, I think
your parents. I said the parents.
Yeah.
Separate yourself from your parents.
But go to find some therapy too, because whether you realize it or not, your head's messed up. I don't care how strong you are. Okay, to get through something like that, you may think you're fine. You may know you're fucked up. I don't know. But get some therapy. Talk to somebody. Get a real professional. Professional. Good to hear that you've got a good guy though on your side. Yeah. And yes, lean on his family. Who cares who you birthed by? Yeah. Find family. Find the friends. Find the good guys. Okay.
Lean on his family, and also don't allow your family to mess up the new family that you've created.
And they might try. They might get envious and try.
Yeah.
Okay.
But don't allow that.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you guys something. You hear a story like this, you think your shit is ratchet, you think your shit is foul. In comparison, really how bad are you doing? And I'm not talking about this young lady. She survived it, and it sounds like she's doing well now. But when you sit back and you kind of look at your life and you want to complain about something, oh, my boss picked on me today. Yeah, come on. There's a more times than not, we're doing better than most. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah. God
bless you, you young lady. And really, what I said stands. If you need some help with therapy, you reach out. I'll figure it out. Okay. Hey, you know what, guys? Therapy is the new answer.
No, I swear every week I'm talking about therapy, but I genuinely love therapy.
No, and you know what? In my generation, therapy wasn't as well received as it should be. In my generation, it was like, you don't go to therapy because that means you're crazy. Okay, or you're unstable, or you can't handle it. Well, you know what? At this point, it's easy to say. It's a lot of things that people can't handle. There's some rough shit going on.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not always easy. So therapy is an answer. It's an answer that you need to lean on and embrace. Okay, particularly if you have problems, if you got issues, and if you got drama, if you got historical drama. Okay, don't let anybody steer you wrong. Go and talk to somebody.
No, I genuinely like therapy, and I feel like when Zach and I started trauma-based therapy, he was this kind of, I think, had this whole mentality of like what I think a lot of Black men have, of not being taught by their fathers that therapy was something that was available or something that could be leaned on.
Yeah, that didn't happen in the Black community, right. Especially amongst men.
So when I was telling Zach, no, we're going to go to therapy, and he was like, all right, well, you're so set on it, so let's do it. I swear the first time we left, he was like, okay. And I was like, are you willing to go back? He was like, I'll go back. And he always had an open mind, but I could just tell he was very reserved. And in all of his openness, he was still reserved. So the second time we went back, it was separate. First time we went, it was as a couple. Second time, it was separate. So he went and did a session. I waited outside in the car. I think I found like a sushi place, and then we switched. And then I went in, and then we drove back on the way home. And our drive was pretty silent, to be honest. It was just silent. At one point, he was like, when's our next one? Yeah. And I was like, so you're okay? And he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And we started to go every week, and we would go, he'd go separate, I'd go separate, and then we'd do one together. And when Zach and I fight, it used to be like silent. Like we would.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
Why is that funny?
No, that's not funny. I thought about something that was funny.
What the hell?
So when me and your mom were going through our nasty period.
Oh God. Do we want to talk about that?
We decided to go to therapy.
It was too late for you guys.
It was too late. I remember her sitting up. The therapist said something, and she was sitting up there. She was just like, "Oh no, I'm not doing that." I was like, "Oh, this is not working." Oh, okay.
You guys needed God. You needed more than therapy.
Yeah.
But what I was saying is, before we went to therapy, when Zach and I would get in arguments, it was like we would go on silent mode for days.
Oh, that's not good.
I know. We would argue, and I would look at him, and he would look at me, and I would just think in my head,
who goes on silent mode?
Zach,
is it you or him?
Zach goes on silent mode. I want to talk. I can keep talking about it and talk about it. He's more of like, I just want to go on silent treatment. I didn't work well with that, which is one of the other reasons why we did therapy. It just I can't go on silent mode. I want to talk about it. I don't give a big deal. Let's talk about it. Right. He's like, I had to say, I can't do anymore. I'm done talking. I don't work like that. So the therapist was telling him, you can't go on silent mode and she's on talk mode. You're not meeting each other. Yeah. So one day we had a therapy session. It went fine. We came home. It was fine. Then we got into an argument. I don't even know what the argument was about. We got into an argument. And in my head, I'm thinking, oh, great, here we go. Silent mode's activated. I'm not about to get talked to for like 3 days. Like, I'm about to go walk around this big-ass house. It's awkward as hell, looking around, looking at the white walls. Like, I'm like, oh, really? And it probably was like 10 minutes went by. And I'm just like, this motherfucker. So 10 minutes goes by, and then all of a sudden he goes, I'm like, now he's breathing hard. Light skin and breathing hard. It's just, everything about him was just annoying me. He goes, well, today in therapy, I was like, is he talking to me? Is he talking to me?
Nice.
And he went on to say today in therapy how he learned that he can't just go on silent mode. And then he took the 10 minutes to think about what he was going to say next and how we were going to talk through this argument. And I swear to God, I didn't even want to argue anymore. I was just so happy that he took what we got from therapy and really used it. And I at that point, I didn't even care about the argument. I just got up and I was like, I'm so proud of you.
Bravo.
Like, I don't even care what we're fighting about, but you took what we just learned and really used it. And now look at us.
Yeah.
And it was one of those moments where I was like, okay, like, we can get through whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why I think sometimes I'm so big on therapy, because Zach was not for it. And we went, and he really turned around things and was able to work through things. And the dialogue changed, the wording changed. And I felt like it was never like a feeling of being weak. You know how like most men feel like if they cry, they're weak. If they share this, they're weak. It was never that. It was more so of like, hey, I never thought about it like that. Or I put that so deep into my closet and so far back there that I never even realized that I'm projecting certain things out into the world, not realizing that that's why. Like certain traumas that you go way back. Like, to be honest, we initially went to trauma therapy because of the shooting. And when I got there, the lady was like, tell me why you're here, tell me your trauma, whatever. And I tell her what happened. And she was like, okay, but that just happened, right? And I was like, well, yeah. And then she's like, how old are you? And I tell her I'm like 30. And she goes, okay, girl, there's some traumas before that. We need to work through those first. Like, that might be the big one, but you have other traumas like that you need to work through before you handle the big one. And I was sitting there like, oh. There's more.
Did you have more?
Well, like, for example, she brought up Ryder's pregnancy.
Okay.
Yeah. And how that was traumatic.
Yeah.
And she's like, you didn't even realize that was traumatic.
Right.
That didn't even like cycle.
Didn't register.
It didn't register to you that was traumatic. Postpartum was traumatic. That didn't register.
Yeah.
And like different things like that I was like, okay, I didn't realize. And she's like, until you realize that, you can't face this big one that's an obvious one without facing some of the smaller pieces to the puzzle.
Right. Let me tell you, if you're a person that is argumentative, or life is not a joy, or you go on silent treatment, or whatever, any little infliction, any little wrinkle that's not consistent with life is beautiful, you might have a little trauma that you don't even realize. It's like you're talking about, the pregnancy, not knowing,
Yeah.
all this.
To the birth,
So
to
I
finding
would,
out that she had a rare disease, to dealing with that. She's like, all those things are traumatic.
Yeah. So I'd say if you have a little extra, go talk to somebody.
Yeah. But Better Health or Better Help. Let me look it up right now because I think I told you
talked
guys
about
this.
it last week, and I wanted you to follow up to find out the real answer.
BetterHelp.com.
BetterHealth.com. Is it statewide?
It's
nationwide?
Everywhere. It's you can go on here and you can find it. I literally just put it in Google. You can find it for yourself, for couples, for your teen. But it's like you pay like a monthly, and I want to say it was like less than $50 or something. Like it wasn't
for the month. That's a lot for a month. I mean,
No. Like for like 8 sessions or something.
Yeah.
Like
like
there was all these perks. You can find all these like systems that you can.
And what's it called? Is it
Better Help?
Okay, go look up Better Health, and if anybody out there, health. I'm sorry, Better Help.
HELP.
Now $50 for 8 for.
It was like $50 for like a few sessions. So and the thing is, you cycle through. So they match you with therapists online. And they're from all over the place. But let's say they match you with Sarah and you don't like Sarah back. You can say, no, I want to go to the next one.
Right.
So it helps you find a therapist. And that's the other thing I realized with therapy. And that's my last thing I'm going to say about therapy. Is the first person you meet with might not be your therapist. Right. Or the second. Or the third. You have to sometimes go through a few people to find somebody
to find your groove
that matches the energy that you need to be matched with.
Right.
You can also look up Christian-based therapy,
yes,
or whatever your religion is. They have
a lot of times within your church is free. A lot of times,
your church half the time offers therapy for free.
And I'm telling you, it might be scary initially, but let me tell you something. It ends up being a pleasure. And if anybody in the listening audience knows about any services online or within their community, whether it's Rochester or Tennessee or Snapchat, Kentucky, where they're offered as a free service or very minimal pay, let us know so we can post it so that people in that area are also aware of it.
Are you talking about my girl Amber?
No, I'm not.
Yes, you were.
kind of slid it in there.
Yes. Oh my God. All right. Okay, so as promised, I said we would play a few more of our answers.
So we did the kind of heavy duties.
We did the heavy duties.
Yeah, one was
there were 2, and they're too much for me sometimes. Okay.
Okay, there's one, there was an actual birthday though. Do you remember her name? I just want to say happy birthday.
All right, well, there's no name on it.
No, but there's a.
You don't know, what does that say?
It says.
I should see his face.
Saduz.
Just spell it.
SAUDZ.
And then some numbers.
42.99. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. I hope you're still celebrating the time you hear this.
2 weeks later.
That's all right. How long do we celebrate our birthdays?
All month long.
Started in the beginning and ended in the end.
Okay. All month long.
Yes.
All right. Are you ready to hear some of these? Because I know you love them so much.
All right, let's go.
All right. Somebody please have a good one for us. All right. Come on, Keita. I believe in you.
Love, it means to me, is unconditional love.
Okay.
Love it.
You didn't start us so strong, Keita.
She started like she's at the end of the bottle, right?
All right, Lisa.
Nope.
Hold on. Hold on. Lisa.
Come on, Lisa. Let's give Lisa another chance. Lisa start off talking about.
Lisa said, nope.
All right, come on. One more time for Lisa.
Hold on, I gotta rewind her. Lisa, what?
Love does not exist.
What?
Nope.
Nope. Never felt unconditional love, and I'm 58 years old, and I'm still searching.
Oh, yeah,
Lisa. Baby, don't search. Don't listen. Let me
don't search for it. Apparently, it's not there.
Listen, particularly between a man and a woman, or a man and a woman, or whatever. not a father, I mean a parental relationship or sibling relationship, but let's say what is it called when it's like a union between people that's trying to find love.
Okay.
Okay, don't look for it unconditional because it's difficult. It's not there. They're gonna have conditions on you. You need to have conditions on them also. The traditional, you know, and this is gonna sound sexist. I don't, and I'm not. The
Here we
man, the
go.
man is the provider. The woman takes care of the house. Those are conditions. You bring in the bacon, I take care of the house. That was old school. That's back in the 1930s, 1940s. Okay, that's just the way it was. Okay, so now, even now, conditions are: I need you to be loyal to me. And I'm going to be loyal to you. Now, when that loyalty breaks, that's when divorces fall apart, or whatever the case may be. So don't be caught up in trying to find this unconditional love. That just it doesn't exist. It's a fallacy. It's a front. It's word speak. Okay. You have certain conditions that Zach has to meet,
Yeah.
and he has conditions. Well, yeah, he's got conditions, and you've got conditions he's got to meet. And that's the way. That is the way it is with me and Teresa. When me and Teresa get into disagreements, it's because somebody broke the condition, container. You're saying this or doing this, and that's not what is respectful, or that's not as what proper, or that's not what expected. Okay? So it's nothing wrong with saying it is conditional, because that is the way it is. Now, maybe between a mother and a child, that's when it goes, I understand that as being non-conditional. But between two lovers, you got conditions. She's got conditions. He's got conditions. You should know what they are. You should make sure that they are clear. If you do this, I'm done. Now, I do have another argument for that too, or another state of being. Don't make your conditions, don't let these conditions override the sense of love. But that's another conversation. I'll get into that later. Let's listen to another one.
Okay, before I play another one, really quick, we were just talking about different options for therapy.
Yes.
Okay, so you left your YouTube page up, and I just saw this comment. And Miss Sammy V said, I just want to mention for those who may want therapy but don't have insurance or underinsured. I live in a small town, and when I was much younger, I went to our community mental health center, and I was able to pay on a sliding scale. So if you make $100 a week, you pay them $5 a session. She's just using this as an example.
Mm-hmm.
Don't not seek treatment because of insurance if you have a community health clinic.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Can we shout? What's her name? Can we shout
Miss
her out?
Sammy V on YouTube.
Miss Sammy V.
Thank
Let me tell you
for
something,
that.
girl. Appreciate you so much. Okay.
That was really good advice.
That's the kind of participation I'd love to get out of this channel.
Yeah.
Because we don't always.
I never even
answer.
thought of I would have never known that.
Yeah, but I'm glad she.
Yeah.
How did she know we said that? We're not live.
No.
I almost feel like we're live, and she's asking.
Okay, last week's episode, I've been talking about therapy every episode.
Yes.
Like the past few episodes.
That was on mine?
This was on YouTube, Dad.
Oh, I just hadn't read it today.
You just haven't read it? Yeah, okay. I just saw the little thing and it said therapy, so I wanted to read it.
So, guys, there's a couple things. Don't ever let money be the factor if you can do it or not, okay? Particularly something like a service, like a mental service or something like that, or because you can find a way. You got to maybe do a little research. There are programs here. Let me tell you something. There's more good people than bad people out there. And the good people are trying to help the people that are crooked, bent, wrecked sometimes. Okay? That's what they do. And they're there. You just got to find them. Sometimes they're easy to find, sometimes not so easy. Thanks to a Sandy V who makes it easier.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what Holly has to say.
It doesn't say where these folks are from, though, huh?
Feeling safe, even if you make a mistake.
Okay.
I mean, depending on how bad it is, obviously.
Even if it's bad. If you got love, you'll be all right.
That's how growth happens. As you live, you learn, and you make mistakes, and you should be feeling safe and not, like, attacked or whatever for making a little mistake.
I like feeling safe.
Yeah, sounds like she made a couple of mistakes in her. She kept on saying that.
Shut up, Dirt.
I mean,
Is
somebody
wrong.
forgave her. No.
Okay, Jessica.
Unconditional love to me means loving my spouse, my children, and loving their flaws. Loving those little irritations that they give you. Loving every bit of the bad qualities that they have in them as well. And accepting them for who they are and what they bring. The good and the bad evens out.
I like that. The good and the bad does even out.
I was literally thinking about that. Does that work?
Oh, that's why that's with me and my wife. Oh, because
The
the good is
and the bad
because the good
evens
is so
out?
much better than the bad, whatever the bad may be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, no, I'm good.
Mm.
You know, it's not really a break even. It's a break positive.
Mm. The good and the
You know?
bad evens out.
Yeah. Look, there's no perfect person out there. There's no perfect relationship. I don't think.
No.
You know, I mean,
Jay-Z and Beyonce.
No, man, I heard Jay-Z popped her the other day.
Oh my God.
No, I didn't really hear that.
Okay, we're done with you. All right.
I'm sorry.
Sandy D.
Sandy.
Yes, I believe in unconditional love. I believe in unconditional love because I have a child. And I believe that's the only unconditional love that you can ever experience. A love for a child. You can never stop loving your child, no matter what. Love to me is a feeling of basically incapable of being described, ineffable, if you may say. Ineffable meaning too great to be described.
What's the word?
Ineffable.
And it's just too many feelings at once. It's caring. It's always wanting better for them. It's always wanting them to be happy. You prefer their happiness over yours. Seeing them happy makes you happy. Seeing them sad makes you sad. Just really indescribable.
There's one other thing she's trying to say.
No, it's over.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm okay with that.
Okay. Anonymous.
Did
I play that one already?
You know, from now on, can you guys say where you're from?
Yeah, that'd be cool to know
what part, you know, are you from, you know, Wisconsin or from, you know, Long Beach or, you know, Catskill?
Okay, Melissa.
Barbados.
So I definitely think there is unconditional love. I love my husband unconditionally.
Yeah, wait till he plays on you.
He's an addict. And when we got married,
no. She's describing it though, because she's saying he's got flaws. So now you described it because what'd she say before I blurted out? She said he's an addict.
Yeah,
but she's still hanging in there. That's an unconditional. Can
you move your foot? I think okay. Yeah, there you go.
But believe me, let him be an addict too long.
Okay, can you let the lady tell her story? Because you just be talking and then you jump and then it's like people got, you know, let's...
You're right. I apologize.
All right, Melissa. My bad.
Unconditional love. I love my husband unconditionally. He's an addict. And when we got married, he was sober and clean. And then a few years into our marriage, he relapsed. He cheated on me. We lost everything that we had. He lost his 6-figure-a-year job. We had to move 6 times within 2 years. We went from having brand new cars to having nothing at all. And he just didn't think he was worthy of being loved. And I just showed him that I loved him still and forgave him. And now we're very happily married. He's sober again. Yeah, I think that is one example of unconditional love.
You got me.
I like it. I like it.
Congratulations to him for getting back sober, and I pray that he stays sober. And I just want to say, Melissa, you are tough and strong because not everybody can go through that and stand by their partner.
She did what most can't.
You did by far what most can't.
And that was a great example.
That's a great example
of unconditional love.
Yeah. You get a trophy. You win with that one.
Yeah.
You shut us up with that one. I'm
yeah. Because she talked about adversity.
Mm-hmm.
Let it get too adverse though.
That's pretty adverse. You cheated.
Yeah.
You lost everything.
Yeah.
You got unsober.
Yeah.
We moved 6 times in 2 years. Come on, that's adverse. She got it.
Look, I'm not even gonna try to tell a joke on that one.
Right. That was
a winner. Yeah.
She got it.
Congratulations.
I pray for you guys in your marriage.
Yes.
And his sobriety.
Yeah.
Okay, Emily.
So I think unconditional love is that of a parent to a child. I don't really believe in unconditional love between any other situation. I just feel like there's always conditions. In a relationship, you give love because you love that person. But if they're not giving you back what you want, you're going to stop giving. And to me, that is not unconditional. It is that between basically a mother and a child, I feel like is unconditional because of that bond. But no, I definitely don't believe in it in any other sense besides a parent and a child.
Yeah, I agree. I really think that I'm gonna always have unconditional love for my kids. Even if they become the worst person on the planet.
Jeffrey Dahmer style.
I'm going to the court date. I'm sitting at the court.
Yeah. All right.
I'm just.
And
I just think that I will. I don't think that. And I think that you would too.
I probably would.
You would. I don't know why you try to sit here and act like you're some bad, tough guy. Like, you're still.
Let's change it. I would.
Yes, you would.
I don't care how bad you two were.
You would still be there. Okay,
trying
thank
to get you out the country.
Okay.
Trying to get
you in this escape plan.
Look, hey, man, you got to always have a plan, man. Look, but at the same time, I might just drop y'all off in Panama and not coming back home.
I'm not hanging out with you. Yeah, you might get me next.
You trouble.
All right, Sabrina.
The only person in this world that I have unconditional love for is my child. Every single other person I have conditions for.
That seems to be the answer around here. Yeah,
but here's what I'm. Let your child go too far out of bounds. Okay, let your child start to.
You recorded some. Did you actually have something to say, or you didn't record? These have your name. This one has your name, and this one has your name.
Well, let's see what I said. I don't know. I didn't.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was reading the little thing wrong. It says sin, and I thought it said sint. It's a little like dyslexia.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Looking for a message.
What?
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
Who are you talking to on here?
I was talking to you. I thought I was talking
What does this one say?
I don't know.
I don't hear anything. I'm still trying to figure it
out. I'm still looking for a message. You guys got to excuse me. I'm not very technical.
He didn't understand. You're supposed to leave the message.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what she said.
Unconditional love absolutely is true. But yes, there are conditions to how we express our love. I love my first husband. I love him as a human being, and for the love that we had, what we shared, for our children. But I'm loving him from over here. I'm not actively participating in that love except within myself through God. But actively participating in love with him, no. But he knows I love him from over here. Absolutely. Second husband.
Hold on. Hold on. She said, second husband. Huh?
I think this is low-key therapy for some people.
Hey, I'm all for it. We all need therapy.
I'm like,
Okay, wait.
I kind of feel like people are getting some stuff off their chest.
I want to hear what she has to say about her second husband.
Okay, let's go.
Love him forever. Forever be a part of me. It's the love never existed if it just goes away. But the conditions of life are what change our circumstances, not the love.
Is she not with the second husband? That kind of made it sound like she wasn't with him either.
I don't know. She, I'm a go guy, and when people talk slow, I can't. They lose me. We're gonna have to do this on. It's either gonna be this.
What?
We have got to go through here and screen these.
I did. I screened a lot.
Did you really? Well, were there any that you particularly found that you really liked? Or
yeah, I bookmarked them. Well, but a lot of people talk slow.
Okay, all right. Then I'm gonna. Okay, I guess.
I don't know what to tell you.
Okay.
Not everybody talks in the same fast pace as we talk.
Okay, all right. I mean, a lot of them sound like they're at the end of the wine bottle. Really?
I personally don't like the words conditional or unconditional love because I don't think that love can always be unconditional, because sometimes there's just going to be things that we don't really like about our partner at the end of the day. So I don't think that's bad for there to be things that you need for the relationship to work, or if you want to call it conditions for the relationship to work, because sometimes people need to get their shit together and make certain changes to make a relationship work, and that's not unconditional. So that's why I don't like the word unconditional love. However, I do think true love for me is like two people coming together that are committed to making a relationship work, and they can accept the flawed and unflawed versions of their partner. Mm-hmm. And as long as both partners are willing to grow together and to accept that person. And when I say accept, that doesn't mean we just tolerate everything that we maybe don't like about that person, but it means that we can accept that, they might need more time to grow in a certain area, or something might not come as easy to them. So that's how I would define love.
I really like the back part of hers.
Okay, Holly.
Yeah, I really like the back part of hers.
We're gonna end with hers
because, when I sit back and I look at, my relationship with my wife now, mm-hmm. or with my kids, with anybody, you don't always like them. There's something they may do you may be in disagreement with. Okay, but if your love supersedes this thing called then you'll be okay. Mm-hmm. And what helps it to supersede it is when you've defined, I already understand there's going to be some flaws. There's going to be some shortcomings.
Yeah.
In you and in me.
Yeah.
And if you accept mine, not if you accept mine, but if you can accept mine, mm-hmm. and I can accept yours, then we'll be okay. And she kind of hit that to me.
I like the flaw accepting.
Yeah,
there's always gonna be flaws
in love. If you don't allow flaws, and see, here's one of the things I used to talk to T about. This is before we got married. I said, T, you are proclaiming this love for me, and I appreciate that. That's what attracts me to you, because I know you got me. But let's say I slip and I go and end up with somebody, too many drinks, whatever, bad choices. Her immediate thing is I'm out. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, then you don't really love me. And she says, no, I do. But if you do that, that's unacceptable and I'm out. And I said, but that means you don't really love me. Because I'm not allowed to make a mistake. Now, I'm not advocating somebody saying, yes, you can go. You know, initially she took it like, well, Kyle, I can't say that because that's like I'm saying to you, yes, you can go and screw up.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, no, that's not what I'm asking. I'm not asking you to say that. But I want to know that you love me enough that when I do slip or when I do mess up, if I mess up, whether it be this sexual, whether it be financial, whether it be with trust, whether it be with whatever the reason, that the love that you have for me is great enough to supersede this or to give me a pass, not to give me a pardon, not a pass.
Yeah.
To give me a pardon.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you should be able to do that. I think I've seen you do that with your husband.
Yeah.
And he might have done
that's because before we got married, you had a conversation with us and you said, if you guys are going to get married, you need to figure out what the conditions of your love are. Yeah. And we were both kind of sitting like, what's he talking about? And then you went on and you explained it. If he cheats, if she cheats, if there's no money, if there's money, if someone gets sick, and you went down. And once we realized, okay, he's not, like once we got the surface level out the way and then really got to the nitty gritty and had to get through if a mistake was made, if this was made, like what are the conditions to our love?
Yeah. Yeah.
And when it happens, like when it actually happens, how are you going to proceed?
How are you going to react? What are you going to do?
And I think that's when your true love or your love,
your love level will either
is going to show
or it's going to be short.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's part of been back to Tia eventually, because I think she had to get past this. Well, if I say yes, I'd still love you. That's like giving a pass. I said, no, that's not giving a pass.
Yeah.
I'm not asking for a pass. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I don't want it to happen. I'm not foreseeing it, but I know shit does happen. And I think when she said, eventually she got to the point of, it would probably be difficult to trust you, but it was no longer you're out the door. Mm. And I think that's when I finally was comfortable with proposing that we got married.
Yeah.
Because to me that's love. Not when everything is peachy keen.
Yeah.
When the shit is in the rocks.
Yeah.
That you can pursue. It's like the one lady who went through.
How do you get through it?
Yeah, that's what love. That's what love is. See, love is easy when everything is peachy keen.
Right, but how are you gonna act when shit is upside down? Yes,
when the shit hits the fan. Yeah.
And you have to. And I feel like you have to go through those things.
You don't have to go through them, but you have to be able to at least imagine them.
But I think when you go through them and you're able to come out of them together, your love grows. It grows.
Yes.
And your trust, your compatibility, your dependency, your everything. It heightens it. Yeah. There's sometimes Zach and I will go through shit and shit hits the fan. Like I think a lot of times people see like the nice family pictures and the big pictures over here and everybody looks pretty and we've edited out, Zach's scars on his face on the photo and we gave him a full mustache. There's no longer a scar on his mustache.
You did.
Yeah, we made him look nice. We made him look nice and clean up there. But there's been times where shit has really hit the fan here. And
as it does in households.
And when we get through it, and sometimes we can get through it together with just us. Sometimes we call on my dad or call on my mom or call on his dad. Or, we got to rally the troops since they help us get through this because shit has hit the fan. And then when it calms down and when the fan is kind of slowed down, everything is getting back and we've gotten through it, Zach and I look at sometimes and go, we must really, really like each other because there have been moments where he's like, I know you just want to walk away right now. And I'm like, is this like reverse psychology? Because I wasn't even thinking about walking away. I thought we were just going to figure, we're going to figure it out. Shit hit the fan, but we're going to figure it out. Yeah. And I think it's during those times where we really can see like each other's like authentic selves and see that the whole world can be against us in moments, or we could feel like the whole world is against us in moments. But how do we act towards each other? How do we make each other feel? How do we bring each other up to get through those moments. And then that's when I'm like, okay, like there's sometimes I look at him and I'm like, oh, I just can't believe I really love you. Like, love you to the amount that I love you. I just didn't think that I could ever love you that. And I don't mean it in a bad way, but it's like you look at this person and you're like, wow, I really love this person. And then there's other days I wake up and I look at him and I'm like, ew. Yeah.
Have you ever woke up before he does and look over at him and say, he doesn't look the way I remember.
Okay, one thing before we gotta go because we're way past our time again.
Okay.
People keep on saying right now that me and Zach are starting to look alike.
Are you really?
Okay, look at this picture. Did you see the family picture that I put up the other day? Okay, guys, go to my page. Look up the last picture.
Not Shy is her page.
Okay, right? The last that's not me. It was Jordan Cheyenne. Anyway, the last picture that I put up of our family photo, it's like all four of us. Somebody said me and Zach are starting to merge into one face. And then I zoomed and I'm like, it's like that when your owner starts to look like their dog. Is that, you know how some owners look like their dogs? Mm-hmm. I said, are we starting to look like one face? Do you see it? Mm-hmm. And then these people, the taquito truck people, asked us if we were siblings.
Oh, boy.
I was like,
incest.
Oh, no. Not brother and sister. Well,
I did see one. I'll send it to you later.
What?
I took the other day, last week when I had Boz and Zai, I took them over to my mom's house. We were sitting down. We took a picture with me and Boz. Mm-hmm. And I could finally, first time I saw it, where Boz kind of looked like me.
Dad, Boz is your twin.
Well, I never realized that.
Everybody says that everybody first off says that you look like all the boys. Or the boys look like you. I get Ace's always looks like you.
But you know, my brother. That's who
okay, really Ace really looks like my Uncle Steve.
I wish I could find my pictures of him when he's that age.
Ace looks like Uncle Steve. Everyone.
Oh, Papa Floyd's brother came over and snuck in.
Okay, shut up, Dad. Everybody says that Ace is Zach's twin, but if you guys saw my uncle, you would then see, no, there's the twin.
Okay.
A lot of you guys liked the speak pipe. What's our next topic going to be?
How to get through a marriage successfully.
Okay.
Or how to get through a divorce successfully.
Okay, well, I haven't been through a divorce, so I wouldn't really have much insight there.
Well, I'm on my sixth wife?
Shut up, Dad. Let's talk about how to get through a marriage.
Okay.
I'm in a marriage, so I like marital advice.
No, okay, let's do marital advice.
I like marital advice.
And look, I haven't really been through 6 marriages, so you know. I know.
Yeah, you're going to have your wife in a tizzy with that one. I like marital advice. How to get through a marriage.
How to get through the marriage.
Successfully.
And maybe even share difficult times that you went through and
how to overcome them.
And what you did to overcome.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
I mean, great examples of love. You know, look, love is not always easy. It just isn't. But if you decide that you're going to grow old together on the same pillow, you know, you find a way to get through. So I like that one.
I like that one. That's good. So I'm going to put that one up for this week. I'll start putting it up today or after this week's. Okay, today is 2 weeks ago. But by the time you guys watch this, the link would have already been up.
And what you can also do is put a link up on if there's anything that you guys like to talk about.
Yeah, so how about we do that? Because I can only do one link at a time.
Oh, okay.
So for this link, I will put on there marital advice, how to get through a marriage, things that you'd overcome for your marriage, just to give some backstory. And if there's other topics that you guys want us to talk about, or even questions or concerns, or if it's something that happened in your day and you want to talk about it, send it on there because I'm going to sit down and listen to all of them and then we'll play them on here.
Now, we're not asking for, intimate secrets on how to boost your marriage. You can't do with any kinky stuff.
What?
That's what.
What? Nobody even said that.
I'm sorry. Maybe I drifted.
Jesus. Okay, we're going to end this episode with a comment that we got on YouTube from...
Come on. My new best friend?
His new best friend, but I'm trying to figure out how to say this. Y'all got some funky-ass YouTube name. Jaya takes 3761 Jaya.
Oh, it disappeared. I mean, where'd it go?
Okay.
I'm sorry.
You
My
blew
bad.
it.
Okay, whatever you. She'll know who it is.
All right. She says, I think that people struggled with the showerhead conversation are those who don't know how to discuss sex / sexuality objectively without sexualizing the person they're speaking to. This is an important distinction. For what it's worth, Shine has 2 kids and is married, and those of us who've been around long enough, whoop whoop, know Papa Floyd was present for her first delivery. Yes, he was. He held a leg.
I was in there. Hype.
Oh my God.
Come on, Ryder. Come on, baby.
He really was. He was my. He
really
was my doula. So there's no secret that sex is happening in her life. Like most adult humans, it's normal. If you guys are up for it, I encourage you not to shy away from this conversation because it can be a teachable moment. Clearly, some listeners could use some understanding that objective discourse about sex doesn't require those in conversation to sexualize or objectify each other. It's not like y'all were exchanging graphic details of your bedroom escapades. I don't have that openness with my parents yet, but I think it's dope and healthy. I challenge you both to challenge your audience and don't shy away from adjusting the different perspectives.
Yeah.
I love that.
My new best friend.
Yeah. A lot of people think that, like, when people hear that my dad held my leg when I delivered my first child, they're like, he saw your vagina? Like, the whole thing. It was as big as a
it was unbelievable.
And it was like, I felt like he was at like a science fair.
I'm telling you.
He kept asking the doctor questions.
I never seen anything like this.
It was like, I've never seen anything like this. Mind you, my mom had both my sister and I completely natural vaginal births. And I said, did you not see mom deliver us? And my mom said he could not look.
No, because I was her breathing coach.
Yes, she was like she was like, you have to understand, it was different for him. Like it was different. So for you, she's like, it was more of like a science fair project that he got to witness.
But you know what, guys? Don't be so squeamish about sexuality, because all sexuality isn't sex. Am I saying that right? Okay. I guess what I'm saying is,
I get what you're trying to say, that you don't have to overly sexualize things that it doesn't, that it's not intended. Like, I posted a picture of Ace in his diaper, no shirt, and someone was like, you're sexualizing your son. Oh, shit. So that to me is just overdoing it. Okay. And I can do plenty of examples of that all day long. Corey, Taylor, myself, and I just posted these pictures from Ryder. She did a photo shoot. She got pink braids. She wanted to do pink outfits, and I got her all these pink things. And I saw some comments on Corey's page of saying, like, aren't you scared to post your child for, like, the pedophiles in the world? And I'm like, it just I didn't know how to answer it. So I don't answer it because, number one, they didn't comment on my page. They commented on his. But number two, it's like, if that's the mindset that I'm going to have in life, I should just live in a bubble and never go outside. Because the picture wasn't sexual. She's in a business suit. She's in a kid business suit. She wasn't in a bikini or bathing suit. She's in a little kid business suit. So I'm like, how are we going to the pedophiles in the business suit outfit? So everybody finds a problem with everything. Just, not everything has to be sexualized. I get that the world that we live in is sex. But sometimes you gotta understand, we can have conversations about sex and it's not sexual. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
Okay, I just said the same thing you said. Oh my God, twins.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. I don't. You save that for, Remy and Zayna.
Okay, love you, bye.
No. Look, and then I gotta go. Hey, so one thing. Your hair is kind of cute like that. I like that. I've never seen you with little dangles.
Not little dangles.
Little things. I saw it last week and I said, that looks cute.
I know. I really like this hairstyle, and I've gotten a lot of compliments on it. And I think I did.
It looks easy to maintain too.
It's so easy to maintain, and I've used it. I've had it in for like, you had it. You saw it last week. Does it look crazy in the back? Because I haven't taken a mirror and looked in the back of it.
Cool. I think one of your. Oh, you got dangles up here.
There's dangles in the back too.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah, well,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. I hate you. Okay.
Hey guys, Follow us at. Oh, I'm at Pretty Boy Floyd 3.
I'm at Shy Not Shy, and our Instagram page is Our Unfiltered Kitchen. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, please.
And we need some reviews.
Yes, we do, because we got our podcast signed, and we want them to know that we're doing a good job.
Yeah, and it's competitive.
It is.
And I'm paying out the pocket.
We are.
I need to break even.
We do.
Actually, I need to make some money. People think I got money. I'm really broke as a bastard.
Oh my God. We're signing off now.
Do you remember? Wait.
We just signed up. What do you have to say?
I just remembered. Do you remember there was somebody? It was some kind of comment where it was like, "Oh yeah, I think Shy's parents are big drug dealers."
Yeah, I get that all the
time.
time.
You remember? Do you really?
Yes, they say that so my parents have a successful.
Well, it's on the downside now.
Well,
27 years we've been running
a copy business. Yeah. I always say it's an upscale version of a Kinko's. Someone said Shy's parents front like they're pushing paper, but they're really pushing.
And that's something. Now,
I'm like, they're really over there making copies.
Yeah, I really make copies.
Really
copies. The closest thing to that is I used to work for Chuck E. Cheese. Well, Chuck E. Cheese makes pizza. Uh-huh. So I used to go around and tell people I was the biggest dough dealer in town.
Okay. I'm done with you, Dad.
Okay. There you guys.
We're done with you.
We signed off already. Love you.